Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dream Team Chat on a Tuesday. I'm Brianna Engel, Superstar Director of Scentsy Dreamers, and I have a very special guest with me tonight.
Hi guys, I'm Katie Erickson, one of our directors here. Glad to have you all.
She is all the way from California, here in Texas, live and in person. And she's here on a very exciting night. We're talking about one of the favorite topics. um, Maybe we should have switched it around or something, done something more fun. But this is going to be good because she has given some, when we were brainstorming, you gave some really great perspective. And so I am actually super thankful that Katie is here and she's going to speak into this topic, and how we pivot from what the shipping changes are and what it looks like moving forward and all that. Okay, so diving in, that's what we're talking about tonight is the shipping changes that took place on August 1st, right? So we got a little like heads up that we are going to have a new shipping tier. And you know what, this is the second time in almost 5 years that I think the shipping has changed a little bit, which in my opinion is pretty amazing considering how often prices fluctuate. I get emails all the time saying, postage is going up, or, pirate ship is changing their prices or whatever. And so you got to understand that inflation and a lot of things impact shipping costs. And Scentsy does everything they can to keep it at a low, reasonable cost for us as consultants and customers. And so I don't know if anybody's shipped anything lately, but it is not cheap. Okay. Shipping is not cheap at all. I shipped a box using pirate ship today and it cost me almost $15. Okay. And it's just got a few counterclaims in it. So the fact that Scentsy can ship something for $8 or $10, and we're talking warmers and warmers and warmers, to me, that's pretty amazing. But let's talk about why. Okay. Let's start there. So the shipping changes, what's changed, right? So if you're here and you're like, wait, shipping's changed, what are you saying? Yes, you can go to your workstation, type in shipping tiers or shipping, and it will pop up with this information, along with a really fantastic FAQ. Me and Katie were just reading it, and it does answer a lot of the questions, and that is where we got a lot of this information from. So if you need somewhere to go back to, I would reference you back to the FAQs. Okay, but just a brief overview of what those changes are. The biggest thing is that shipping has increased from $8 to $10. Okay, we're looking at a $2 increase in shipping, and that's across the board, which in my opinion is actually super fantastic. Here's why. Prior to this new shipping tier, what we were dealing with was an $8 shipping charge, which I know that, some people thought that was great. Some people still thought that was too much. Wherever you stood, it was $8, but it was only $8 up to a certain amount, right? It was $8 until you got to $80. Okay. For a regular PWS order, individual order, not attached to a party, blah, 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 right? We were looking at $8 up to $80, and then it became 10% of whatever the amount was of the order. So if you ordered $300 in Scentsy product, you were looking at $30 in shipping. Okay. Understandable, right? It's not going to be cheap to ship some $300 worth of Scentsy, right? So it's understandable, but we were looking at a 10% after $80. And so you're looking at those prices, plus you're looking at having to calculate potentially for customers 10% of their order. And if you're like me and math is not your strong suit, that was always quite the hassle. So I did not enjoy having to do that 10% increase after the $80. So what Scentsy said is, we are making it $10 across the board. No matter what your order total is, it will only cost you $10 to ship it. To me, that's fantastic. To me, that's a bonus for my customers to say that you want to order $80, $90, $100 in Scentsy, you're only paying $10. Yeah. You want to order $200 worth of Scentsy, you're only paying $10. I mean, there's not a lot of places that you can go to have things shipped to you for that amount. Okay. I can't think of any because Amazon's still not free shipping like you think it is, but you're paying for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's just not a lot of places that offer that kind of discount and that kind of really great rate for shipping across the board. So no matter what you order, it is $10. That's great news. Okay. That is a positive. I looked at that and said, fantastic. I love that. If you have to increase it $2 and we get rid of that 10% or my customers may be paying more, I love it. I'm here for it. Okay. It's okay if you're not, but just understand like how that equates and how that is a selling point for customers to order more, right? $10, you're talking to your customer about ordering something and they're like, I want to add another warmer. Oh, it's still $10 shipping. Don't worry. If you add another warmer and it bumps up your thing $50, it's still $10 shipping. That's amazing. Okay. This also includes Scentsy Club shipments. And so Scentsy Club shipments operated in the same way that or not party orders, PWS orders operated. So it was $8 unless it was over the $80, and then you're paying 10% of whatever your Scentsy Club total was. Nope, they said $10. However, I will say the shipping changes have gone into effect as of August 1st. However, I've had a couple Scentsy Club orders processed this month, and I still see the $8 shipping charge. So I didn't see it in the FAQs about a different date for the Scentsy Club changes to come, but just anticipate that it will take effect at some point. And you will be looking at that $10 across the board shipping charge for your Scentsy Club people as well. And if you have Scentsy Club for you too. Oh, they said 9-1. Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. So September 1st, Scentsy Club will be $10 as well. Cool. So also what we are doing, what they did with these changes as well, is before we knew that $500 in a party attached to a party. So if we opened a party link and we had $500 worth of PRV in host base in a party, whether that was online, whether that was orders that we collected, we would get free shipping. Okay, we would get free shipping to one address, usually the host address, right? So if you're collecting orders, or if you're not collecting orders, but you are taking in the rewards, you would get free shipping to your address. And I'm sorry, I can't look at that. So I'm trying to read the comments. I'll come back to it. You would get free shipping at 500 after. Okay. Now they have changed that. They have lowered the threshold. When I started, free shipping happened at what, 200 or 250 or something. It was like super low when I started. But then they bumped it up to 500. Everybody lost their minds, but really it's actually fine. It promotes more PRV. It actually worked out really great. But now they've lowered the threshold again, but they've changed some things, right? So now your $350 party order will get free shipping as long as you have $350 in orders that are manually entered into the workstation in that party. So no longer do PWS orders and online orders, same thing, attached to that party count. This is where I know people are like losing their minds because they're like, wait, I have online orders and now I still have to pay $10. Understand, Scentsy is still a business, okay? And I don't even want to almost think about how much money Scentsy has had to eat in shipping costs because of them shipping the rewards to that person. Not saying that we don't deserve that in a certain aspect. However, your customers, those people who put in the online orders, are still paying their shipping costs, right? And then the host is still getting rewards on top of that, right? And then to get free shipping on top of that, it's a lot, right? So as a business, I understand this move, right? So you still get rewards. Yes, and let me break this down. You still get, the reward system is the same. If you look in the catalog, you'll see that the host rewards have not changed at all, okay? You still get rewards starting at 200 PRV or 200 in your host base, you still get rewards starting then. $20 in free credit, half off, your perpetual party reward. That all still begins at 200, whether it's online, whether it's locally collected. The only thing that's changing is that your host base, no, the only thing that's changing is that the shipping cost is not free unless you collect and manually enter $350 worth of orders. That's it. That's it. Okay. I'm putting that out there. Yeah. Alex says local orders. However, we're going to talk about how they don't have to be local orders. They don't have to be people local to you for you to collect them and enter them and for them to count. They can still be direct ships and you can still take advantage of the free shipping to you as the host. You can still make this work for you or for your host for it to benefit, for you to still get free shipping, even if you don't have a bunch of local orders. We're going to talk about how later, but that can happen. Okay. And then the other thing is that the shipping cost, the $10 shipping cost, if you have less than $350 that you've collected, if you have less than that and you're still paying the $10 shipping because you're shipping all of those orders to you. So if I have collected $350 worth of orders from local people, I'm sorry, say I collect $300. I collect those from my local people and it's all being shipped to me because I'm going to go deliver them, right? I'm still getting charged $10 for it to be shipped to me. That $10 is still set up the same way that shipping is set up if you have less than a $500 party, which means the shipping cost gets distributed among the carts and it's not necessarily just one person paying the $10, right? It gets split up. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about how you can add that in or substitute that cost to your customers that you are collecting from so that it's not a burden on you. To Norma's question, yes, if somebody goes on your PWS and orders $350 worth of stuff and they do not attach it to a party, they can still get free shipping. They can get free shipping. It was like previously, if they went and ordered $200 worth of stuff, not attached to a party, they could get free shipping. Okay. So you can absolutely do that, or your customers can do that. Obviously there are no rewards involved, but if free shipping is the goal, you can do that. Okay. The other thing that went away with these changes is there is no more economy shipping. So maybe some of you had noticed this before where I think I don't know how it was determined. I'm thinking it was weight. There was an option. Yeah, there was an option for economy shipping that was a discounted shipping. It was like $6. I think it said it took a little bit longer. That is no longer an option. Okay. So for those of you who are like, I don't know what you're talking about, who cares? Doesn't matter. Okay. It's gone. You don't need to worry about it. Right. If you never used it, cool. But that's now gone. Okay. Because they want to make it clear cut across the board. It is $10 shipping. Okay. So those are the changes. That's what we're looking at. So I'm just going to be honest with you and let's talk about the cons. Let's talk about why it kind of sucks sometimes. Okay. But then we're going to talk about why it's good and we're going to flip it and we're going to be problem solvers and we're going to pivot. Okay. But I do want I want to address why people feel like it's a negative and speak into that, because like I said yesterday, your feelings are valid and you can feel that way. But we have to be able to pivot and we have to be able to problem solve and make sure that our business is still thriving in the midst of changes, right? So first and foremost, no more free shipping at 500. When we have orders attached and whatever, it takes away that ability to get the free shipping at that threshold with our PWS orders. I get that. That's a bummer. I understand. That is a con. That's okay. No worries, guys. There's no more $8 shipping. Yeah, $8 went up to $10. that is a con where we're having to essentially pay $2 more in shipping. And there's no more economy shipping. Those are my cons. Those are the cons I thought of. Okay. If we dwell on those too long, yeah, it can suck, but we're not, because we're about to go into why it's great. Okay. Why these changes are good. We're gonna move into that. Okay, because those are the cons. We talked about it. Now we're gonna talk about why it's great. For me, no more 10% after $80. Having to calculate that, my brain is happy. I am so excited about that. Okay. I am thrilled with that. Yeah. I think that it keeps it so easy to do calculations. Yeah. It keeps it so easy to understand, like, and to explain, right? When we have teammates and they're like, wait, on the order form, is that, you guys, just $10. It's just $10.
And that goes back to like our Scentsy standards, right? Simplicity. They're making it simple for us, which just speaks into the company and who we work for. Yep. Like, I love that. Make it simple for us, please.
Please.
We want it to be simple.
Yes, love simple. So yeah, those are the two pros that I see, like, right out the gate, right? But me and Katie came up with a lot of what we believe are pros with this, but we addressed it under how we're going to pivot, right? So Katie's going to talk about how do we work this in our business? How do we apply this to, okay, I'm gathering orders or I'm talking to my customers about this. And before she goes into it, I do want to say the biggest thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand with any changes that come with Scentsy, like yesterday with the Scooby-Doo thing, a lot of the way that we react gets played back from our customers, right? So if we don't act like it's a big deal, our customers more than likely aren't going to think it's a big deal either. There are so many times where us as consultants, not talking about any of you necessarily, but like consultants in general, will make a huge deal out of something that affects our customers. But yet when we go to our customers and actually tell them, hey, shipping went up $2, they're like, okay, it's fine. And we literally sit with anxiety and we come up with all these things. And at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. And so I want you guys to have that kind of mindset going into this pivot, and understand that the way that you approach it with your customers is going to be displayed and projected back in the response, right? And me and Katie both agree. We don't necessarily think that a huge announcement needs to be made to your customers. I didn't talk about the announcements coming on August 1st about the shipping changes. And hear me, most of my customers pay shipping now because most of my customers are still in California. So I haven't talked about it at all with my customers. Yeah. They give me their orders. I either charge them shipping or I don't, just depending, but
let them decide.
Let them decide.
They order all the time. They see it.
Right.
They have the eyes to see shipping. They see the numbers.
And
they'll come to you.
Exactly. I was just going to say, if you have a relationship with your customers, where there's a line of open communication, then they should feel, if it bothers them, they should feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey, what's up with this? I noticed that shipping's up. Then you can come in with the pivot and be like, oh yeah, actually, if you give me your order, I'm placing it on Friday and I can get you free shipping, or I can get you a discounted shipping, right? And I'll just deliver it to you, or whatever, right? We can pivot from that. But just ahead of the ball game here, as we're going through this, I personally, if you haven't busted out with these changes yet to your customers, I would ask you to think about maybe not doing that. And maybe just letting it roll and coming up with maybe tying in some of these solutions for your business moving forward, and ways that you can just integrate these changes into your business without making it some broad, like, hey, shipping is now expensive. Like, we don't need to do that, right? So yeah, Katie's going to dive into how we do that.
So if you have those local customers, Bree did mention, but offer to collect their order. Okay. I know it's so tempting and it can be easy to just say, here's my link, go have fun shopping. Even though you know that they're local to you, just say, let me take your order. Number one, you don't have to mention shipping. You can say, because I want to get you the best deal. People still don't pay attention to bundle and save options. And so all the time I get orders where it's like, you know, they order 5 bars or they order 7 bars. And I'm like, oh, like we could have functioned that a little bit differently. Or they just didn't bundle it. They just added 6 to their cart, right? So maybe start that and say, hey, let me collect your order so I can make sure you're getting the best deal, because we have a lot of bundle and save options. And then go from there and collect the order yourself. Okay. And if they're local to you, you can deliver to them. But also, friends, like, you can offer to have them pick up from you if you're comfortable. Or if you know you're going to be at Target on a Wednesday night, be like, I'll meet you at Target. You know, I know some people get weird about like going to houses and things like that. Like, there are so many ways that you can make it fit into your life where it's not like this huge inconvenience of you delivering to somebody. Like, make it work for your life, but you can still save your customers shipping in that way. Another thing that you can choose to do, this is just an option, is you can add $1 to $2 to each order. And that gets you a total that goes to like their shipping. So you're not necessarily charging them shipping. This is if you're collecting all those orders together, right? And say you do plan to drive and go make those deliveries. If you're just adding on $1 to $2 as a shipping or a handling fee, okay, that allows you to maybe go towards your own gas money, towards your own supplies. Okay. And that gets customers maybe a little bit used to paying like a portion of shipping and handling. Okay. That way in the future, if they get comfortable with that and then they decide, yeah, I don't mind about the $10 like standard fee, then they can do that. One idea is to offer and place weekly orders. Okay. So this is where it allows us to kind of work ourselves a little bit more by saying, okay, I have these 2 orders and the total is $250. Okay, let me bust my booty and go get another $100 in orders, and I can now have a $350 order. Okay, and what else is that? Yeah, weekly orders or whatever works for you. Communicate to your customers. So if you don't feel like you can do weekly, communicate to them. I feel like I have had so much success when I just communicate to my customers a matter of like, hey, I am collecting these orders and I'm going to place it in 2 weeks from now. So on this date, shipping, and you don't have to give too much detail. You can if you want, but you can tell them shipping takes about a week to get to me and then I'll deliver it to you after that. So it gives them the expectation like, okay, I'm going to wait about 3 weeks for my order. Some people love that because the idea of paying shipping is more horrendous than waiting 3 weeks for their order. Okay. If you're just open and honest and let them decide, do you want to wait longer and not pay shipping, or do you want to pay shipping? Put it in their hands and they can totally make that choice and you don't have to feel any sense of guilt about that. Okay. And then one thing that I really, really liked with this is sending customers to Scentsy Club. This, to me, I saw this as a huge opportunity to push Scentsy Club because shipping is the same for both, right? If they're going to order off my website all the time, it's the same as if they're going to have a Scentsy Club. But the big difference is they're earning points on Scentsy Club, right? They're not earning points for just sending me their order. I'm probably getting their rewards. If they have a shopping link, maybe they're getting their rewards. But with Scentsy Club, they're earning those points on top of it, okay? And I just see that as a huge, huge plus. And I think maybe in a customer's mind, it could be more simple, you know, let's set it up. Let's get you going. It's an auto shipment. I love using that phrase, auto shipment, because a lot of people are more familiar with that term because of Amazon and all these other companies that offer auto shipments. And so it makes more sense to them. It doesn't sound like they're joining, because I found a lot of people think when you say Scentsy Club, they think they're becoming a consultant. And so if, you know, we can just rephrase that in a way that makes sense to them, I've just found a lot more success with that. So see this as an opportunity to really, really push Scentsy Club and see how much more you can get for that. Because yeah, they're getting the points, but then now they're getting the referral points. And especially this month, they're getting, what is it, 200 extra points on top of it. So why not get those extra things if they're going to pay the $10 shipping?
Well, and at $30, they're also getting the 10% discount, which can also offset the shipping cost.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the half off.
And then the half off at 60. Yeah. So it's like more perks. Yeah.
Yeah. Way more perks. And then.
Oh yeah. Nancy brought up a good point. They can use their points towards shipping.
Perfect.
Like, you know.
Yes.
they offset it in their
offsets.
own mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the greatest things in my opinion is, yeah, let's push Scentsy Club. Let's push it for that. So when it comes to if you're hosting parties, okay, Facebook parties in person is more easy, but I find it with more like Facebook parties when you have your host, okay, work on your communication if you struggle with that in terms of what you're telling your host and what you're telling your guests. Okay, so use this as an opportunity to really communicate well that you want either your host or the host guests to give you the orders. Okay, because I find that when I do a Facebook party and I'm posting the links to the different things, people will just order right away, which is great. We love those orders, but they're paying those shipping. And so if you're communicating to them like, hey, browse, go on here, browse, but come back to me, tell me what you want so I can get you the best deal, so I can save you on shipping. Okay. If they're not local, that's, you know, of course they're going to have to pay that because they're going to be far from you. But I've even actually had a host, she lived near me, but her family was like down south and she was going to go see them. So she actually collected all the orders and then she drove them down because she was going to go see them. So I know that doesn't happen all the time, but think about things like that too. Talk to your host, and that just comes down to the communication. Like, hey, so-and-so is ordering, like, are you going to see them anytime soon? You know, people travel all the time. People, you know, in California, we drive to the Bay Area all the time. And so communicate with your host about who's ordering, when they will see them. And that way you really are getting them the best deal, both on shipping and their products. And then another good thing too is that we can also push those personal shopping links, which I have absolutely loved. Because if customers are ordering on your website all the time, just tell them, let's get you a personal shopping link. I feel like it only makes sense. That honestly shows your customer that you're serving them the best way, because you're earning them free and half off products. Okay. So push for personal shopping links, because yeah, they're paying shipping, but all of that's going to be collected and then they're going to earn those rewards. And I think that is super beneficial to our customers. So,
and we talked about like with the personal shopping links or even parties, right? I know a big question was like, how do I ask somebody to host, but then I still ask them to pay $10 in shipping if they only have online orders, or, you know, whatever the case may be. The thing is that we talk a lot about parties and party incentives and offering an incentive as a consultant, using our perpetual party reward, those kinds of things. Okay. So my recommendation is to what you were budgeting for the perpetual party reward to cover for a host incentive. Maybe instead you cut down that cost, right? So instead of like, hey, you'll get a free warmer because you're willing to pay $25 for whatever warmer they choose or whatever, you instead say, hey, you'll get a free 3-pack of bars, and I'll also cover your shipping cost, whatever your shipping cost is, right? And you know, out the gate, it's not going to be any more than $10. Hello, simplicity, right? And so to me, that's an incentive. If you have a person who has a shopping link, obviously budget matters, right? Don't be going and flying all this money out. Do what you know is appropriate for your family and your budget. But for me, if I have a customer who's ordering on her personal shopping link and she gets to $350 or she gets to $500, I'm paying her shipping cost. I'm paying that $10 to get her rewards to her. Because if you look at your commissions and what you've earned from that party, you've made that $10 back, right? And so you only need what? $100?
Yeah.
I don't know. Math's not my strong point. But you don't need that much in orders to make that $10 in commissions to be able to pay. And also when you're paying the shipping cost, that's a tax write-off. Okay, so keep track of that. But yeah, for me, for my host, I'm just going to be paying that. I'm obviously going to, when I'm doing like a Facebook party or something, I'm going to be using the verbiage to those potential customers, those guests. I'm going to be telling them exactly what Katie said. please message me your orders so that I can get you the best deal and I can save you on shipping.
Yeah.
If that's my verbiage, and I'm not talking about you'll have to pay $10 in shipping if you don't give me your thing. No, I want to get you the best deal first and foremost. Secondly, I want to save you on shipping. That is just going to be what I say.
Yeah.
Okay. Personal shopping links are a little bit different. If I have a person who I'm setting up a personal shopping link for, and it is just so she can order off of it and get rewards off her own orders, then I'm just going to let her fly with that and I'll pay her shipping come rewards.
Yeah.
But if she wants a personal shopping link because she's got friends at work who want to order as well, I'm going to tell her, hey, I'm going to send you some order forms, or could you write down their orders or text them to me and give them to me so I can make sure they're getting the best deals, and then try to get her to let me enter those on her link myself so that they can save on shipping.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
$50 order gets you 20, if you get 25%, $12.50. Michelle, I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So a $50 order at minimum gets you $12.50 in commission. So that's already paid for your shipping costs.
Yeah.
How do you help your out of town customers? When I'm following up with people, I always tell them, tell me what you want to order. Come to me.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're following up with them and talking to them and communicating with them, ask them to give you your order. And I think that's just a big way that maybe we have to pivot, right?
Yeah.
Instead of using that, here's my link, go shop it. Instead, and to me, this is just a win, but instead you're asking your customers to give it to you. But literally, somebody messaged me on Instagram, asked for my link, or no, she found my link, asked what party to shop from. Okay. I said, you can shop from whatever party. I never give them a specific. I said, pick a party, doesn't matter. She goes, places $150 order, doesn't attach to a party. What I should have said was, give me your order so that I can I couldn't save her in shipping necessarily, but I could make sure that it attached to a party, right? Yeah. And made sure that she was getting the right bundles. Yeah. Right. So boo-boo on me. But when you have customers and you're talking to them, and even if they're out of town, it doesn't matter if they're out of town, you can still place the order for them. Yeah. Right. And you can say, I'll place this order, at the end of the week, or I'll place it tomorrow for you or whatever. And you can still charge them the same shipping amount or whatever, but at least that it's going where it's supposed to.
And start small.
If it's being direct shipped, Norma, yes. Yeah. Unless you are putting it in a party with other orders, right? So if you have an open party and you're collecting those out of town orders and they're all being if they're all being direct shipped, yes, it's all 10. Sorry.
Yeah, but I would say start small too. Some people choose to cover shipping. Okay, that's up to each person individually. But what I think is, I don't ever try and tell my customers or broadcast on my social media, hey, free shipping. Okay, I don't do that. I always use the words discounted shipping. Okay, because then I evaluate my paycheck for the month. And some paychecks are really great. And I'm like, okay, I can cover, let's say 6 out of the $10 for that month. Okay, but then maybe another month, not a great month, and I'm going to cover 2 out of the $10. Okay, I'm budgeting that within my business because I'm choosing to. And so I'm never telling my customers, I'm covering your full $10. I'm saying I'm discounting your shipping, and I'm evaluating what I can do in my business that month or that time. And then I'm choosing, even if it's $1, you guys, even $1, if you're telling them I'm going to discount your shipping, I'm going to take $1 off. When people hear stuff like that, it's an automatic win. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You could say, I'm gonna take 50 cents off your trip. Seriously, anytime you take things off, you're taking things away, it makes people feel better. So look at your business, decide for yourself what is feasible, what's business smart for you, what you've budgeted from your paycheck that month. When I first started, I couldn't budget to do that. And I was just telling Bree, I finally feel like now 2.5 years later, I'm at the place in my business where I get paid. I put this much aside. I know, okay, I'm doing this much for shipping, pirate ship, whatever. I've set aside some money so I can do that. Especially brand new customers who reach out to me, I always try and do it for their first order. And I tell them, hey, for your first order, I'm going to discount your shipping. And I say for your first order, because then it's not an expectation that every time it's going to happen. It's just saying, hey, it's showing them, I want to be a great consultant for you. I really want to treat you. I want to thank you for reaching out to me that first time. And I phrase it that way.
And remember that like personal specials like discounted shipping or
Mhm.
free shipping has to be communicated privately. But Alex brought up a
Yes.
good point that 100%, let me just say, like I said in the beginning, and I told Katie this. I hesitate to give you
Mhm.
guys a lot of ways around this where it's you having to cover shipping or
yeah.
I
You
hesitate
don't
to
want
do that. I
to.
don't want to give you all these options where you feel like you're then responsible for these
Mhm.
changes. Because at the end of the day, your customers have to decide the value that they put on these products
Yeah.
and the value of the loyalty and all that kind of stuff. And they will either choose to continue to shop with you, whether you offer anything or not,
Yeah.
right?
And it's
And
better that way, because then they're truly choosing the product
right,
and truly in love with the product. Of course, we want them to be in love with you too and support you, but it starts with the product. Like, nobody's going to come back to a product that they half love, necessarily all the time. It's like,
yeah,
it's important for them to love that and make that decision.
yep. So, like I said, the ways that I want you guys to try to integrate these changes into your business, if it's stressing you out a little bit, is figuring out how do I make it to 350 in local orders. So there is free shipping, right? So you're not having to cover anything. How do I give my customers the best deals possible? Right. And that's not discounting their shipping. That's literally how do I get them the best opportunity to put them in the position to get free shipping on Scentsy's end or to get them the discounted shipping on Scentsy's end. That's for first and foremost your goal. Okay. We wanted to give you a broad range of options and things that we do and business practices that we know can work for you if you're looking for a multitude of options. But at the end of the day, all it requires is a change of mindset and really honestly, just like a simple change in verbiage when you're talking to your customers.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. It's a change in verbiage when you're talking to your customers.
Yeah.
The goal is 350 in orders that you collect.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, like, communication is key. I feel like in
Yep.
any relationship, right?
Yep.
We know that with our spouses, with our kids, and same with your customers. Communication is huge. I was just thinking about, I have a customer. I do like a monthly box, right? And I knew I'm mailing that off to her next week. Well, she needed some light bulbs. And so her option was, right, she was going to buy, what is the 3-pack, $5?
For light bulbs, yeah,
right.
$5.
So she was gonna pay $5 for light bulbs and then a $10 shipping. I said, look, this is what it is, but if you want to wait, I'll just throw it into your box. So you think about that, have conversations with them, and if she didn't mind waiting because she thought in that moment, okay, yeah, I can wait on my light bulbs another week and a half rather than paying $10.
Right.
So just keep open communication, and you don't have to withhold, but you also don't have to like word vomit on them, everything.
Yeah, and overwhelm them, right? The goal is not to be overwhelmed yourself and to not overwhelm them.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's time to come up with a plan, right? And so what me and Katie hope that we have done is given you guys the knowledge about what has changed and put into perspective ideas that help you work your business amidst those changes. Okay.
Yeah.